Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another T.I. and Tiny Friends and Family Hustle review. This was the season finale. Even though this season was quite interesting, like if you think about it, they had some stuff going on this season, okay? This show definitely gets, you know, a tad bit more views than it used to, and I think that's all because we don't have anything else to watch. We bored. It's like, why not? Okay, there's nothing else going on, okay? So let's start off with LaToya and Tommy, okay? LaToya and Tommy participated in her Christmas music video together, and then they called the doctor because they feel like they're in a point in their relationship where they're ready to have another child. I don't know why they had to call the doctor to, you know, what was the doctor's appointment supposed to do? Like you know, I just wasn't clear on that. But either way, we all know that LaToya is pregnant with their second child together and their third child all in all, okay? And I believe that it's a boy, so Tommy is finally getting, you know, the little big head boy that he always wanted, so good for them. Monica has her new album. Y'all, did her new album ever come out? Like, I guess it might have been postponed because of the pandemic. Like, if I can't promote my album and tour, what's the point of putting it out? But I feel like Monica need to be going around doing lives and performing all over the place. Child, you need to be on the Shade Rooms live Instagram, you know, feed, performing some of your songs. Like, I think that's how people need to start promoting. Like, we can't have these large venues where you know, have shows and stuff. So you need to be on Instagram live performing sometime, performing your songs and stuff like that. Go on other folks' Instagram live and perform some of your songs. This is what y'all need to be doing, just to be honest with you, okay? Because this is not the time to not put out music just because you can't, you know, necessarily get out here and promote it. Yanni, you calling me in the middle of my video, and I'm gonna leave it in, so when I put the video up, you'll know that you had called me when I was right here. Bye. Okay, leaving it in there. All right, so moving along, y'all. I'm leaving this in there because she gonna watch this video. Hey, Yanni. All right, so yes, y'all, let me go see if Monica's album came out. I don't feel like it came out because I haven't heard any of those songs playing anywhere, or at least on my timeline, and I follow Monica, so I feel like if the album came out, I probably would have seen something. Let's go ahead and look at her on Tidal and see if there's any. Nope, the last thing that came out was Code Red from what I see. Yeah, in 2015. So we still waiting on Monica's last album. All right, but I like the music I heard, y'all. One of my lashes is flipped downwards and it's driving me out of my, it's driving me insane. Anyway, I'm getting my lashes redone tomorrow. It's bothering me, Jesus. So if y'all see me doing this, it's gonna try to get the damn lash out of my eye, okay? But yeah, so Monica has, you know, this little ratchet side to herself called bands, and I'm like, bands to make them dance, bands to make them dance. That's what I think about, okay? And there's some ratchetry, and then there's some like love making songs, and I'm just here for it. Like the music that I heard, I really enjoyed. So I'm looking forward to whenever Monica finally decides to drop this album, okay? Now let's talk about T.I. and Tiny. So they went on a double date with another couple in order to reinforce that they don't care about what we think about them. They're in tune with one another. And I'm like, you know, what really annoys me about T.I. and Tiny is their business has been put on Front Street for years. Okay, and it's because they have put their business on Front Street. You have done reality shows. You have gotten caught cheating, T.I., numerous times. Okay, Tiny, you was dancing with Mayweather at the party where Mariah Carey was there. Everybody was there. So they always doing shit at these public settings, or, you know, I feel like not being secretive with their business at all. But they get mad at the public for having opinions about it. And I do understand. Like, people say ignorant stuff to you. All of the public are not just people that's like, girl, you saw what happened. Some of them are, y'all need a divorce and I hate y'all and why y'all still here. You know, I'm not one of those people. Live your life, do you, okay? But what I get tired of is them acting like we've been the issue in their relationship and not, you know, T.I. and his philandering ways, and then him not even taking responsibility for it. It's just like it never happened and we've moved past it. And to me, I feel like if a man is going to publicly put out there that you are a distraction to him, there needs to be, you know, more proclamation of you being good to him, or you being good for him, or you trying. I just feel like publicly T.I. does not let us know that he loves Tiny in the way that it seems like, you know, they may have on a personal level, which honestly, you know, I'm fine with. But I feel like if you're gonna publicly embarrass her, you need to be swooning over her publicly as well. You know what I mean? It always seems like she's the one that's walking on eggshells trying to keep his raggedy ass. That's just what it looks like, okay? Even when she's all into him, he don't seem like he's all into her. You know what I mean? So I'm just tired of seeing that visual, and I would love for once for Tiny to look like the one that's like, yeah, whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would like that vibe from her. But all you get is, I love my husband. I want to be with my husband. So I'm basically going to, you know, deal with whatever bullshit comes along, as long as I get to stay with old raggedy ass T.I. Then there was a family dinner in which, honestly, I was dissatisfied with the way they touched on Deja and T.I. having conversations and being in a better place. Based off social media, is Deja still not following her daddy on social media? Because that's nowadays speak for I truly don't fuck with you, okay? I truly don't mess with you, okay? But recently I saw that Deja, you know, penned an essay or something like that about talking about mental illness, which makes me feel like, you know, one or two things. Either you're constantly putting out these little messages saying stuff because something has happened to you personally, or you're trying to just make statements in order to dilute the original message about people messing with the kids and the families, okay? Because I wonder if she doesn't want people to know, or she maybe doesn't want to talk about it. Is it just me? Because I feel like when she wrote that little essay about her mental health, I didn't see anywhere in there that she admitted that, you know, something happened to her. But it's just like all of these little small cries of help, you know, within the lines of an article that she's written, but not her actually coming out and saying it. So I don't know what's going on with Deja, but I feel like, you know, something's going on with Deja, and the way they put a little bow on the end of this season just did not suffice for what I've seen from that young girl on social media. So yeah. And then lastly, you guys, Red and Toya. Y'all, I cried. I'm not even gonna lie. I've watched Toya on several different reality shows. The only one that I didn't watch was when she was on Growing Up Hip Hop. Like, that was the only one I didn't watch. But I've watched her on this show. I've watched her when she had her show with Tiny. I've watched her, you know, when she's been on Marriage Boot Camp and, you know, other things like that. But I feel like I've kept up with Toya enough to know that Toya was burned immensely by her previous marriages, being married to Lil Wayne in a way he could not give a fuck about your feelings as long as he's financially taking care of you, and also the way she had to deal with Memphis Hits and his abusive nature. Whether we want to admit that or not, he has an abusive nature, okay? And you can tell by the way he handled Toya that he may not have put his hands on her, but the way he screamed and hollered and talked to her and got in her face and all of that leans to him being a violent person in nature. And I don't care what anybody says, which is probably why you don't really hear from him that often, okay? I saw him on Iyanla, and I feel like he had daddy issues and all of that. So, yeah. He had issues, and their marriage was very public. So after all that, you know, and I feel like he handled Toya bad as well. I think most of the men that she's been in relationships with have not handled her with the respect that she deserved as a woman, for the loyalty and the respect she exhibited throughout the relationship. Because let's be very clear, Toya made me mad by putting herself in a line of fire with the K. Michelle situation. That was her husband. She was supposed to, you know, defend him because that's her husband. But ultimately, he did what that girl said he did. Like, I don't care what nobody say. After I saw them two on Marriage Boot Camp, I was just like, yeah, he did that shit. It may have been an isolated incident of physical violence, but that doesn't mean that he isn't violent in the way he talks or just his mannerisms toward a woman. Because I can remember Toya just being like, boy, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, a way for her to be docile to him getting really like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? When, you know, I think that also comes from her knowing, like, nigga, you will come up missing if anything happened to me, so please calm your ass down. Because you know, I think the family and Wayne and all of them, they don't play about her. They don't play about her at all. So Red, y'all, Red, who goes to therapy and has, you know, two-parent household that he grew up in. I know people act like that's not a big deal, but it really is. But from what we've learned about Red on this show and his own family, he is a well-rounded, self-loving black man. That is very important. Somebody that sees themselves in high enough esteem to do well for themselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. And that is what I see when I look at him. I also see somebody that uplifts and tries to upgrade, for lack of a better term, the people around him. And based off what I've been watching on the Home Team YouTube channel, if you're interested in African history, stuff that you didn't know about because, you know, they don't teach us these things, y'all should look up Home Team's YouTube page, okay? I just fell upon him last night, and just fascinating things about African history and you know, the antiquity and all the different civilizations that we had, child. How much stuff you didn't know that African people were the first to utilize and understand, such as coffee and iron and all of this other stuff that he talks about. I mean, just how we actually as African American people exhibit some of the same things that ancient African people did, and we don't even know the history, but you know, there's a universal consciousness that we act out these same things over and over again. That's why it's so important for people to know their history. So y'all check out Home Team on YouTube, okay? But I was watching this video he did about black men and the connection to black men throughout history, and how they all feel in some way responsible for the humanity, the moral compass, and the culture of the world. And when you think about, you know, the entire world and how African men have affected the culture everywhere, I mean, Aborigine people and native people to lands are always like dark complected people, and it is because the Moors, the Africans from the ancient African civilizations that, you know, of course are hundreds of years before slavery, these people traveled around the world and stayed in different places and planted themselves in different parts of the world, okay? So they are vital in the culture of places, even that they, you know, aren't, you know, necessarily known for being from, like in Europe and all of that type of stuff. But either way, that depiction of a man, I feel like Red fits that perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Like with that moral compass and creating civilized culture amongst people. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all gotta look up that history, okay? But when I was watching it and not thinking about what Red is to Toya and her family and helping them reconnect as a family, Red is a perfect example of, you know, what I think is the essence of black men. Okay, and that is like, I didn't even mean to give him a compliment that huge, but that's what I see when I look at him and what he is giving to her family, her daughter, you know what I'm saying, their own baby who's so precious, like revitalizing this woman's idea of love. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciated Red and Toya and their journey and us being able to watch it, because I feel like it's a really great representation of what a lot of black women need from men, okay? Somebody who can step up and help guide when needed, but also somebody that can step back and let you shine and be the person that you are and walk in your own purpose without feeling in some way like it, you know, questions their own manhood. You know what I'm saying? They do everything together. They work out together, they cook together, they have business together, and they were creating this, you know, within their relationship before they even got married, before Toya realized she was ready to be married again. Just I mean, amazing story at the end of the day. I don't care what nobody say about her. I feel like Toya just lives her life and minds her business, and I appreciate her for that, okay? And then their relationship is beautiful. He met with Regine to, you know, ask her about proposing to Toya. Then he took, you know, her other family members to look for the ring. I didn't know who they were, but you know they her family members because I heard my accent. Okay, I heard my accent. Then they went on a helicopter ride, y'all. And she was talking about how she in such a good place in her life. Had no idea what was about to happen, but was already in this place of feeling so grateful for their relationship and where she is in life, just because of their relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, oh my God. And then as they're, you know, about to land, you can see it on the helipad will you marry me, Toya? And she starts crying all hard, and I started crying all hard, and I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then he, you know, he got on one knee and he proposed, and she's like, yes, of course. And then all her family comes out, y'all, and then they go inside, you know, they have this engagement party and everybody's there. It's all this love in a room, child. You know, Toya mama over there drinking. I was just like, oh. Like, Jesus Christ. But you know what though? It's a good moment, it's a celebration, whatever. But the way she talked about him and what he has added to her life, you know what I'm saying? Like, just incredible. And I was happy for her and happy for them. You know what I'm saying? And even though we giving Red his props, let's not forget that, you know, Toya is also somebody who has not just married some rapper and had a child. You know, Toya has continued to try to create wealth for herself, wealth for her own, you know, part of her children, not just from Wayne, you know what I'm saying, but writing books and doing things that she thought added to the world and added to her bank account in a positive way. I can never be mad at that, because there's so many of these women that will sit on their elbows and suck up this man money forever instead of trying to create something for themselves. And Toya has consistently been trying to create something for herself and using her celebrity to take her family to another tax bracket. And I ain't never mad. And I see the way she take care of her family and try to be there for them, even when it seems like they haven't been there for her in that same way. You know, she does that with her own family, uplifts them and gives them a better outlook on life. The same thing this man has done for her in their relationship, I feel like she's been doing for her family her entire life. So shout out to Toya, shout out to Red, shout out to their baby and the family and Reginae and everybody, because I really enjoyed watching this journey. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations, y'all. Yeah. But that's it, y'all. I know this was a little longer, but I was like, fuck, if I feel like talking, I'm gonna talk, because otherwise there wasn't really much to talk about. But we're gonna talk about this love amongst these black people, y'all, because it was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It was very beautiful. But yeah, y'all. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all in the next one.